Probably in this age of social media, no other martial art have faced more hatred than Wing Chun. My question is, since when? Probably since the famous fight between Ding Hao and Xu Xiaodong. Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. So when I first saw this fight between Ding Hao and Xu Xiaodong, I noticed several very odd things, and I never saw anyone is openly talking about that. So let's start from there. Now, Ding Hao was wearing a traditional Chinese shirt that was very loose and it was difficult to understand his physical structure. And Xu Xiaodong was wearing a very tight-fitting athletic outfit.
But if you carefully look at their body size, you can clearly notice it that there is a significant weight difference. With that much weight difference, probably the result would be the same if it would be a fight between two boxers.
A heavier fighter can generate more momentum in his striking than a lighter fighter. That is the reason when a fight is happening under certain rules and regulation, there is a weight category. If a middleweight boxer fights against a lightweight boxer, 90% of the time the result would be the same. Talking about rules and regulation, my second question is, what was the rule of this fight? Because you cannot arrange a no-rule fight in China. Yes, if it would be a no-rule fight, then I have nothing to say, but in China, if you arrange a no-rule fight, it will be considered as a dueling and you will be arrested. Now here what I saw in the fight, Xu Xiaodong was grabbing Ding Hao's clothes. My question is, under which rule set?
Here we can clearly see that Xu Xiaodong is grabbing Ding Hao's clothes and hitting his head with his other hand again and again. Now my question is, what was the rule set of this fight? Because you cannot do it in MMA, right? Once again, take a closer look. Xu Xiaodong is clearly grabbing Ding Hao's clothes. This is what led to the knockout.
My third question is the gloves. Xu Xiaodong was wearing a pair of MMA gloves, and if you look carefully, you can also see he had hand wraps. Now there are many people who think gloves is to protect our head from opponent's hand. It provides some sort of padding, and that is why your punch became less lethal. The truth is,
boxing gloves are weapons. They're not safety devices.
Right.
There's no way I could hit this that hard with my bare hand.
So when they couldn't wrap their hands, they can barely punch full contact.
Yep.
Yeah.
When former world kickboxing champion Bill Superfoot Wallace agreed to that, so do I. But let's just forget about all this. Let's talk about another fight. Again, there was one Wing Chun instructor and one MMA coach. This fight happened in Vietnam. The Wing Chun instructor was Pierre-Francois Flores, and the MMA coach was Lu Chuang. He was an MMA fighter with Muay Thai background, and the fight took place in his own MMA training facility.
But this time, the scenario was completely the opposite. Pierre Flores, the Wing Chun instructor, completely dominated the entire fight and defeated the MMA coach.
Now here is my question. When one Wing Chun fighter got defeated against an MMA fighter, everybody, they don't just blame Ding Hao, they blame the entire system of Wing Chun. And some people even go too far and they started to say that Kung Fu is useless. Now Kung Fu is not one single style, there are over 1,500 styles all across China. But in Lu Chuang's case, people do not blame MMA. They are saying that MMA fighter wasn't good enough. If Pierre-Francois Flores fought against a legit MMA practitioner, then he had no chance and all. This is what I call hypocrisy. When a traditional martial artist loses a fight, people don't blame one person, they blame the entire system. When a modern hybrid martial artist loses a fight, people only blame that person not the entire system. You can say it's not just about the Ding Hao. I have seen many other Wing Chun masters got destroyed by MMA fighters, by boxers and all. If you search on YouTube, Wing Chun versus Karate, Wing Chun versus Kickboxing, Wing Chun versus Kyokushin, Wing Chun versus MMA, you will find several fights where Wing Chun practitioners are pressure testing against different styles. They're performing inside competitions and winning matches. It's like any other martial arts system. You lose some, you win some. I don't know what is so strange about that. And many of those videos you can find where some Wing Chun masters, they always write this, Wing Chun masters, not Wing Chun student, not Wing Chun practitioner, not Wing Chun fighter, but Wing Chun masters. My question is, who are we going to call a master? Someone who has perfected the entire system. So these video uploaders, they make it look like that the Wing Chun practitioner in the video, he is a pioneer of the skill. He mastered the entire system. And nobody questions that how many years this guy actually have Wing Chun training. You just look at the title of the video, Wing Chun masters got destroyed by MMA or destroyed by boxing, and you start believing that this person is a master. This person mastered the entire style of Wing Chun. And do you know how many fake Wing Chun masters video are there already? Let me show you something. Have you ever heard of a drunken Wing Chun? Yeah, I did. Some people actually have made their career in social media by trolling one particular fighting style. But when you're receiving some information from them, have you verified that information? Recently I came across with this video and just listen to this.
Gong famously challenged many Kung Fu and Wing Chun masters who made bold claims. With just a bit of kickboxing and MMA training, he easily beat all of them.
A little bit of kickboxing and MMA training. If you just check Xu Xiaolong's biography, you will find he was not just a Sanda champion, he was a Sanda instructor. If you have any Chinese friend, anyone who lives in China, just ask him how difficult it is to be a Sanda instructor in mainland China. This guy was an accomplished fighter much before he joined MMA. And if you watch Xu Xiaolong's fighting technique, 90% of his techniques I can see just Sanda. If you want to test the capability of one particular fighter from one particular fighting style, you have to allow him to use all the technique he has in his arsenal, not just those which are legal under MMA or kickboxing rules. If you do that, most of the fight against a Kung Fu practitioner are accomplished Kung Fu practitioner, not just a fake master or just a student. The fight will end like this. That's all for today, but there are some more points that I want to talk about and I have to make another part of this video. Till then, enjoy your training and all the best.